Good morning, students. In the last period, your chapter number 6, Physical Change and Chemical Change, was completed. Today, I am going to start your chapter number 8, Wind, Storms, and Cyclones. From the name of the chapter, we realize that this chapter is related with the air. Now, we will see the chapter. Orissa was hit by a cyclone. Orissa was hit by a cyclone with wind speed of 200 km per hour on 18 October 1999. The cyclone smashed 45,000 houses, making the 7 lakh people homeless. Here, in year 1999, on the 18 October, a cyclone hits the Orissa with the speed of 200 km per hour, and this cyclone smashes 45,000 houses. 45,000 houses, making the 7 lakh people homeless. And again, on 29 October, a second cyclone with the speed of 260 km hits Orissa again, and it accompanied by water waves about 9-meter high, with the water waves 9-meter high, and thousands of people lost their lives. Property worth crores of rupees was destroyed, and the cyclone affected agriculture, transport, communication, and electricity supply. Electricity supply. Now we are aware about the Nisarga cyclone, which formed on 1st June 2020 and dissipated on 4th June 2020 in Maharashtra, which hits on 4th June 2020 in Maharashtra in Raigad district, Alibag region, Sindhudurga region. There it is hits, and the speed of the cyclone is 140 km per hour, and the 6 people lost their lives because of this cyclone. And this cyclone, it is a natural disaster. It is a natural disaster. Now, and when these natural disasters, these cyclones will become, that time it will be affect on the agriculture fields, transport and communication, and electrical supply. Here the image taken by the satellite of a cyclone approaching the coast of Orissa. Approaching the coast of Orissa. In the same way, the image also displayed on 4th June when cyclone was hitting in Maharashtra. Now, see the next point. But what are cyclone? What is the meaning of cyclone? How they form? Why are they so destructive? In this chapter, we shall seek answers to some of these questions. Now, these questions are arises in our mind. What is the cyclone? What are the cyclone? How they will be formed? And why are they so destructive? Why are they so destructive? Here, first one, wind. In local language, we can say that it is, in local language, in our Marathi language, Vara, storm, Vadal, and cyclone, Chakriya Vadal. Step by step, we will learn all this concept. We begin with some activities involving air, because this whole chapter are related with the air, and many more activities are there in this chapter which gives us the idea about the cyclone and storms, how the cyclones and storms will be prepared. Now, formed. These activities will clarify some basic features concerning a cyclone. Before we begin, remember that the moving air is called wind. The moving air is called wind. Now, the first point of this chapter, air exerts pressure. Air can create the pressure, air can apply the pressure. Here, activity 8.1, some information is given in the bracket, which is when we are, these activities are there with heating related with the fire, that time we have to very careful, we have to do very carefully these activities in this way. You need to boil water in the following activity. We have to boil a water in this activity. Now see the activity. Take a tin can with lid in Zakan. Fill it approximately half with the water. We have to take one can, and tin can, small can, and we have to fill it with approximately half of the water, half with the water. Heat the can on a candle flame till the water boils. We have to wait for the water boiling, and let the water boils for a few minutes and blow out the candle. Blow out the candle. When water will start boiling, we have to wait for few minutes. Afterwards we have to blow the candle and immediately put the lid on tightly on the can. ते झाकण झाकायचं आहे त्याच्यावरती. बी केअरफुल ऑन हँडलिंग द हॉट कॅन बिकॉज hot things are harmful for our skin. Put the can carefully in a shallow metallic vessel or wash basin, and we have to take this hot can with the water, and we have to put downside the wash basin and pour the fresh water like cooled water, normal water, over the can. And what happens to the shape of the can? And the shape of the can will be changed, or disturbed. And can you guess why the shape of the can get distorted? Now when we see this image, that time we can learn that when we heat it and when we cover the lid, that time, and when we apply the water, that time the shape of the can will be changes. And why it will be happen? When we pour the water on the can, some steam in the can condenses into water. When we boil the water, suppose when open space will be there, and when we boil the water, that time what happen? The water is converted into the water vapor. In that can, water vapors are present. And when we apply the water, normal water, that time these water vapors are condenses and reducing the amount of air inside that can. And due to the pressure reduced, it changes, the can will be compressed and changes its size. If you cannot get a tin can, take a soft plastic bottle. Suppose can is not available in our home, we can take a soft plastic bottle. Many more bottles are available in the market, we are purchasing that bottle also. We can use plastic bottle. Fill it with hot water. Empty the bottle and immediately cap it tightly and place the bottle under running water. Place the bottle under running water. And in the same way that which is perform the activity upper side, in the same way downside also the shape of the bottle will be changes. Because water vapors are present in the bottle, and when we put in the tap water, in the running tap water, what happens? The water vapors are converted into the water, and the air, it reduces the air which is present in the bottle, and the shape of the bottle will be changes. Now recall now some of your experiences. Now here, see, when you fly a kite, does the wind coming from your back help? Yes, wind from backside strikes the kite and exerts pressure on it and make it fly higher. Downsides, when downsides wind and air strikes on the kite and it exerts pressure on it and it makes it fly higher. If you are in a boat, it is easier to row if there is wind coming from behind you. Yes. Why? The blowing wind exerts pressure. The blowing winds apply the pressure on the boat in the same direction, in which our boat is moving. And it makes our boat to move faster. When air which is coming from the behind, it applies the pressure on the boat, which go in the forward direction, and it makes our boat to move faster. Now, do you find it difficult to ride a bicycle against the direction of wind? Yes, it is difficult, because wind speed opposes the motion of the bicycle. When we are riding the bicycle against the direction of the wind, that time what happen? The wind speed which is oppose the motion of the bicycle, and we can face the difficulty. You know that we have to fill air into the bicycle into the bicycle tube to keep it tight. Also, you know that a bicycle tube overfilled with air may burst. We are aware about that. When the bicycle tube overfilled with the air, that time it will be burst. What is the air doing inside the tube? Now, when we are filling the air in that the air tube, bicycle tube, that time the air which is present in the tube, what is doing inside the tube? What is the role of that air? When we fill air into a bicycle tube, then the air molecules inside the tube collide, which is bombarded with the walls of the tube and exerts a pressure. Exerts our pressure. When we are sitting on the bicycle, that time pressures, it will be apply the pressure on that air which is present in the tube, and that time it will bombard on the wall of the tubes and it exerts the pressure, our body pressure. Now discuss with your friends how the air in the bicycle tube keeps in the keeps it in shape. You discuss with your friends how the air which is present in the bicycle tube keep it in a shape. All these experiences show that the air exerts pressure. Air exerts pressure. From all these experiments, from all these examples, we can say that the air exerts pressure. Air can create the pressure, air can apply the pressure. It is due to this the pressure that leaves of trees, the pressure that leaves of trees, banners or flags flutter when the wind is blowing. When the wind is blowing, we can see that the leaves, the banners and flags will be flutter because of the blowing wind, because of the air can apply the pressure. You can list some more experiences which shows that air has pressure. Air has pressure. Many more examples are there. You can also list them in your notebook that can show the air exerts pressure. Let us now try to explain why can or the bottle gets distorted. Distorted changes its shape. Why the bottle or the can which is used in activity 8.1, why this bottle or why this can will be distorted? See this. As I already mentioned that as water is poured over the can, the water is poured on heated hot water can, that time some steam in the can condenses into water. We are aware about that. Water, there are three states of water: solid, liquid and gases. Solid, liquid and gases. Liquid state water will be there. When water will be heated, that time it will be converted into the water vapor, and water vapor are present in that can because we covered with the lid. And when we apply the water, that time these steam will be condensed into the water and reducing the amount of air, and which is reducing the amount of air which is present in the can, and the pressure of air inside the can decreases. Inside the can decreases than the pressure exerted by the air from the outside the can, and as a result can gets compressed. And this activity again confirms that air exerts pressure. Now our next point is high speed winds are accompanied by reducing air pressure. Now activity 8.2, very simple activity it is. Now see the activity, and afterwards I will tell you the meaning of the point. Activity 8.2, figure 8.3, blowing into the bottle. Now see the activity. Crumple a small piece of paper into a ball of size smaller than the mouth of empty bottle. Smaller than the size of empty bottle, as already shown in the figure also, picture also, that we have to crumple चुरगळा करणे, एका पेपरचा चुरगळा करायचा बॉल शेप मध्ये की तो छोटा असेल, कशाचा, पाण्याच्या बाटलीच्या तोंडाच्या पेक्षा छोटा असेल तो. होल्ड द एम्प्टी बॉटल ऑन इट्स साइड and place the paper ball just inside its mouth as shown in the figure, and now try to blow on the ball to force it into the bottle and try this activity with different sizes and challenge your friends if they can force the paper ball in the blowing into the bottle. Paheli and Bojo are thinking about the following questions, and when we are blowing the air inside inside that bottle, that time the paper ball will not be moved. And why it is difficult to force the paper ball into the bottle, paper ball which is present into the bottle? And the answer is, when we are applying the air, when we are applying the force of air, the air occupies the space. We are aware about that. Air occupies the space. The ball will not go in by blowing, because the remaining space in the bottle is already used by the air. We are aware about that. Air occupies the space, and in the bottle, in that empty bottle, already air is present, and the remaining short space will be covered by the ball. And when we are applying the air, that time already the air is present in the bottle, and when we are applying the more air, that time already space will be covered by the air, and there is no more space left for the ball to fit, and that's why ball is not moving in that bottle. Today up to this we will cover. Remaining part we will see in the next period.